welcome to the City Show. I'm your host, Dr. Tom Krieger. On today's show, Zach McDaniel's back from the Talbert House, and he's going to talk about a new local initiative in honor of National Alcohol Awareness Month in April. Later on, we'll get a visit from the winners of Lebanon's annual Arbor Day Poster Contest. Looking forward to seeing all those kids. And to kick off our show today, we have Cole McKinley and Jonathan Pendergrass from the cast of The Music Man, which is playing now at La Comedia Dinner Theatre in Springboro. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
You guys are fascinating. I just love how you guys just pursue your dream. And we had a chance to chat earlier, Jonathan, and your background. You played in Footloose, and can you tell us some of the other performances you've been in?
Yeah, I was in, I started my career, I guess, with La Comedia in 2017 with Mamma Mia, and then I did Annie after that, and then I did 2 kids shows, Joseph, Footloose, and then this one.
Okay, fantastic.
I think that's all of them.
And do you like musicals?
I love musicals.
You really enjoyed?
Yes, they're magical.
You mentioned something earlier. Your grandma, who's not with us anymore,
right?
She kind of introduced you to this theater idea.
She did. When I was a little boy, she took me to see The Wizard of Oz there when I was a little kid.
How old were you?
I think I was 12. I think I was celebrating my 12th birthday.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my first show I ever saw there. And she just was kind of the reason I, got into the performing aspect. Yeah. We always loved like MGM movie musicals and stuff. So that was, and then that kind of just
magical.
Yeah, right into like, let's go see a live production of The Wizard of Oz, and then it just kind of spiraled from there. So she's very much responsible for why I do what I do.
That's a good tribute to Grandma.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Jonathan, what's your background?
Cole,
I'm sorry.
Cole, no worries. My background is also a lot of musical theater. I went to East Carolina University and graduated with my BFA in musical theater back in 2017. So I've been traveling around the country, working professionally since then. It's about 5 years. This is my 6th contract even since the pandemic has happened. So I've been back full action, traveling again, doing shows, getting very lucky to do what I love.
Glad to be performing without having a mask on your face.
Yeah, I actually did a couple shows with face shields even.
Oh my gosh.
And tights and wigs and all kinds of fun, fancy stuff.
So why did you decide to audition for The Music Man, which, by the way, you are The Music Man?
I am The Music Man. I am playing Harold Hill, and it's been a blast. But I, of course, submitted for this role because I feel like it's a staple to have on the resume. It's something that's held in high esteem in the theater community. Yeah. Matthew Broderick, Robert Preston, now Hugh Jackman on Broadway currently. Yeah. Something that I saw a lot of value in. I knew it would challenge me as a performer, so I thought, why not take that leap?
A little history on that show, because it was it was on TV as well, a movie?
A movie as well, yeah. They made a couple different.
And Shirley Jones, and who else was playing that? Who played The Music Man?
The original Robert Preston might have been in the original movie. I know Matthew Broderick played the years later with Kristen Chenoweth and one of the adaptations.
So they did have a remake.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Yeah.
2 or 3 at least, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. And Jonathan, what brought you to this performance?
This particular production, I had just done Footloose, and then I was kind of, the auditions for La Comedia come up on you real quick.
Yeah.
And I missed the auditions for Music Man, and I just kind of just left it out to the universe. I was like, do you have a spot for me? And they did. And then, so it just kind of, how the acting world works. It kind of,
that's awesome.
I have a history there, so I just kind of.
Tell us about your character. Who do you play?
I play Tommy Gillis, so he's like kind of the town nuisance, I guess you would say. He gets into a lot of trouble. He's always got antics going on, things like that. And then this one comes to town and kind of gives them some structure.
Yeah.
I won't give too much away, but I think gives them structure.
Keeps
is
you
the
in
best.
line.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Kind of like a big brother. And
yes, very
okay.
much like that,
a father figure.
Yes.
So who else are we going to see in this production?
Oh, you get to see a lot of very talented performers. One of my good friends and my co-lead, Megan, as well, is in the show. She is very much giving you a full Kristen Chenoweth type as our Marion the Librarian. She's got a beautiful, wonderful voice. I think there's a couple photos, popping through there now. There's a lot of locals again in the show. Of course, the First Lady of La Comedia, Miss Carrie Lee Sutherland, as she's been quoted as we all love, as well as numerous people who've performed regionally and just here in Ohio at Kings Island as well. A bunch of people this past winter and people who will be there this summer. So you'll see maybe a lot of familiar faces on that stage.
That's fantastic. How does this show differ from the movie people might have seen on TV?
Oh, that's a great question. I feel like anything on stage lends itself to being just more visceral, more right there with you. You get grabbed as an audience member when you get to see Harold Hill walking through Iowa and the town and interacting with all these characters.
Yeah.
I think that there's nothing that compares to live theater in that sense. But there's obviously some small changes from the movie to screen to a stage, like the song Gary, Indiana, which has notably been sung by Robert Preston and things like that. And the musical version, it's sung by one of our child actors, which is played by two different kids in the show. They rotate performances, which both do a great job. And I definitely recommend you coming out and seeing the show multiple times to see both of the kids play their part.
Jonathan, it sounds like a big cast. You got a lot of moving parts. Is this bigger than usual?
No, I'd say it's about the size of a show.
Okay.
A normal show.
How many cast members are there roughly?
Oh gosh, I've never thought
At
about
least
it.
14 or 16 of us. Plus we have, the double cast of kids. And I think they have about 6 or 7 kids a cast. So that's like 14 kids and another like 14 or so adult ensemble leads, principals, all of that kind of thing. So over 20, almost 30 probably people involved just performing wise.
Now it's a very ensemble heavy show. Okay. A lot of everybody has their own character in this show. It's not necessarily just a dance show where it's very like everyone has a purpose, and it's a very caricature show where everyone's kind of larger than life.
Did you find sometimes people hear musical and they either go one way or another? They either run to it or they run away. So this is kind of more of a blend of.
I think it is, depending on the audience. I think La Comedia audiences will really appreciate this show. I think it's got a lot of heart in it. I think it's a very innocent story and a very it's a love story, like a very innocent. It's very just golden age, if that makes sense.
And he's selling that really good.
Timeless classic.
Well, it's the truth.
Timeless classic.
It's just every night I feel like I'm in an MGM movie musical. And I joke about it backstage, and I think people think I'm crazy, but I'm dead serious. I love it.
If you squint a little bit, can you see Grandma out there watching you?
Yeah, or I feel her. I mean, I feel her presence sometimes.
That's neat. So the show's been running now for a couple of weeks?
2 full weeks, yep, we've been up.
How's it been received so far?
Pretty well. I think we've had some pretty large audiences, and I hope that we get to stay that way. The town's been very receptive, and one of the nicest things that somebody come up to me after the show said, you remind me so much of Ray Bolger over here singing and dancing on the stage. And I know that for you as well, that is a huge compliment, being a big fan of The Wizard of Oz and all that. So I took it as the same, and it seems the community is really enjoying it and couldn't ask for anything more.
I love how at the end of your performances, people get a chance to meet you guys and the performers. Is that something you enjoy?
I think it definitely is a case-by-case basis. Depends on, the day. If you're tired after 2 shows and you just want to, get some water and go home. But definitely there are those moments that that make you happy that you did, and you're there, you're doing what you love, and you're getting to share this with the community.
It can be very rewarding to hear how you've impacted the audience too, because they're just really appreciative. There's not a lot of stuff like this around. So I think when people, when they go out for a date or they go out for a night out, they really appreciate what it is, the experience. It's not just a show, it's the whole experience. You come there and you walk down onto the stage, and which is very cool. It was always really cool for me when I was young. So I it's the experience that you're having, and people are really so many people have expressed and when I've stood out there, how appreciative they are. They just think it's so great, and I'm like, great. Wow. Sometimes you don't feel like you're you're as good as you're being received, I guess, sometimes, and you're just like, wow, I'm very glad.
You're having an impact. That's fantastic. When are the performances? How many more do we have left?
So we run till the 21st of next month. So we have a couple more weeks left out there, and then we have a couple shows at the theater lined up after that. A couple of the same performers are already kind of lined up for. One of those being the children's TYA show, How I Became a Pirate, and then Beauty and the Beast right after that. So you might see a lot of familiar faces for the next month or so to come.
So when this wraps up, is it difficult? I mean, I have a hard time when I binge watch stuff. It's like afterwards, I feel like I've lost friends, and I'm sad. You guys internalize this even more. I mean, you become the magic man. You become your character. Is it tough to let that go? Or do you look for, I mean, if it were me, I'd be looking for the next magic man in another town since I already know the role. But you guys move on and get challenged again and again and again. That's incredible.
It's bittersweet.
Yeah, I definitely think that's part of the theater community. Just meeting those people, making those friendships, and then moving on to the next one, and maybe not seeing some of those friends for years to come, but then that joy that when you get to work with them again down the line years later, it's great. There's nothing that beats that. You can already have a bond formed, and you know exactly how you guys are going to work together and how it's going to go. And
now you guys are
really
both
special.
local.
He is not.
He's
I
local.
am.
You're in Florida now.
I am
Clearwater.
out of, Clearwater,
Okay.
Florida now, but I was raised in Charlotte, North Carolina.
Okay.
And kind of just been all over the last few years. I was at Winterfest at Kings Island this past winter in Ohio, so I've been local for a little bit the past few months. But
So La Comedia, do they actually put you up while you're up here as well?
they do have some housing for us, yes, for out-of-state actors. They bring in New York actors for a lot of their shows as well. So
Yeah.
very lucky to have
Fantastic.
that opportunity.
And what are your plans when this is over? You going back down to Florida and performing down there? Or?
I am actually headed down to North Carolina to go do Mamma Mia at my alma mater,
Nice.
East
Yeah,
Carolina
yeah.
University. I'll be one of the dads in a production there,
Okay.
so that'll be exciting to do that. And then just keep on trucking. I'm going out to Colorado to do a play, and kind of just keep on
Nice.
booking work for yourself
Yeah.
throughout the year, and just keep that nose to the
Fantastic.
grindstone.
Jonathan, how about you? What's on the horizon for your next performance?
Well, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it yet, but yeah.
You've heard it first
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, well, I'm going to sign the contract, so I'm just going to say it. I'm playing Lumiere in Beauty and the Beast.
Oh my
next.
gosh,
Yeah.
that's fantastic.
So that's
yeah.
going to be really fun.
Yeah.
And that's
a great role.
that's a gift.
Yeah.
So
Is that going to be at La Comedia?
yeah, it's the
Okay,
next
okay,
musical after
Beauty and the
musical.
Beast.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope I don't get in trouble for saying that. I will sign the contract. Yeah.
He promised.
You know, for people who've never been to La Comedia, can you tell us about how the flow is? Because you get fed there too. It's a
Yeah.
wonderful meal.
Yeah, dinner and a show, as well as dinner for the actors that they're allowed to go through the buffet before the show. If you want some food, I know I like to, at least myself, sometimes wait till after the show to eat some
Yeah.
of that food because I don't want to be dancing, jumping around, and everything bouncing around. But
That could be dangerous.
some great veggies,
Very
some
much.
fish options. They have some chicken, all that. Very home cooked, very nice food they have, and then a great show. Whether it be a full-length musical or a play they put up or a kids show,
Yeah.
they always give you a quality production as well. So
And how do we find out about tickets and how we get tickets?
I believe you can call a number that they
Okay.
might throw on the screen there,
There
for
it
you,
is.
as well as the
It's like
website,
magic.
www.lacomedia.com.
Yeah. You know, if you've never been there, call, take your family there. You'll be a hit. You'll be the superstar, and you'll enjoy something that you should have been enjoying for years. I can't believe people haven't been there and they live right there.
I know. I'm shocked too when people say it's their first time. I'm like, wow. Because I've just been coming there forever. I don't know. I don't know.
It's a great experience. Guys, thanks. Best wishes on this performance and the
Thank
ones
you.
down
Thank
the
you
road.
guys for having us. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Thank
Yes.
you.
Thank
Hey,
you
stay
so
tuned. We'll be back to talk about Be One of Us from the Talbert House right after this break.
Break your fast food habit at Kelly's Meats and Deli at 1001 West Main Street in Lebanon. Stop in for a quick lunch featuring made-to-order sandwiches, tasty sides, and mouth-watering daily specials. For dinner, Kelly's offers fresh-cut steaks, chops, and seafood, plus a variety of prepared dishes that only need to be reheated. You'll also find a large selection of high-quality wine and beer that can make any meal a special event. Kelly's Meats and Deli, open 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. Tuesday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Saturday, now open for dinner Saturdays 6 to 9 p.m. And remember, we cater too.
Since 1954, Hardee's Interiors has been providing quality furnishings for homes in and around Lebanon, Ohio. Today, you'll still find quality antique and vintage furniture along with new made-in-America furniture of all styles. At Hardee's, you can create a mix of furniture and accessories that truly reflects your personality, all made to last a lifetime. Designers are welcome and so are you. Hardy's Interiors at 208.5 Wright Avenue or online at hardysinteriors.com.
When it comes to healthcare, the most common question I get is, are you on our insurance? Well, we're probably not because we don't accept insurance, but our prices are extremely fair and you're going to get great care. So if your plan is to get great care, we are your plan. We offer chiropractic, fitness programs, massage, and clinical nutrition. So if you're sick and tired of being sick and tired, call our office, schedule for a free consultation so we can discuss any question you have and get you well.
Call now to schedule your free initial consultation.
When I was in foster care, I never knew when I would have to move, so I always had my suitcase ready to go. Then one day, I was adopted. My new parents opened their hearts and home to me. My parents cook my favorite breakfast for me every morning. My parents take me on trips I never thought I would go on. They gave me a home and an even better reason to use that suitcase. My parents aren't perfect, but they're perfect for me.
Welcome back to the City Show. Our own Zach McDaniel is back with us today to talk about National Alcohol Awareness Month and a program that Talbert House has put together to raise awareness on the issue here in Lebanon. How you doing, Zach?
I'm doing well.
Yeah.
I'm doing well. As I was just telling you, enjoying the weather now that we're past the last, hopefully, bit of snow and hail
Wasn't that
and stuff.
spectacular? I was rooting for the snow. I was hoping to be able to go out there with my grandson and build a snowman. The flakes kept getting bigger and bigger, but then it just kind of fizzled away. But yeah. I'm with you too. I'm done. As is probably everybody else. But it's Ohio, so you never know what's going to happen. Hey, the Be One of Us campaign started last year. Can you explain what you did last year?
Yeah. So last April, for Alcohol Awareness Month, we launched our Be One of Us initiative. The big tag is 85% of Warren County adults don't binge drink.
Okay.
Be One of Us, which is a true statistic. 85% of individuals here in the county don't report binge drinking on a regular kind of basis. But 15% of a population the size of Warren County is still a good number of individuals.
Okay.
So we were really focused on just increasing awareness, letting people know, hey, most individuals don't engage in that sort of behavior. Human beings, we tend to be social creatures and we want to go with the it crowd.
Yeah.
So just letting people know the overwhelming majority don't.
Yeah.
And then along the way, we really wanted to define what the popular message "drink responsibly" actually means, because what we noticed was, companies like Anheuser-Busch, I love their budget. I love the fact that they're able to promote a positive message like that, but we just want to build upon it a little bit and provide some actual guidelines to what something like "drink responsibly" actually means. Last year, we really focused on really just getting the conversation started with some key stakeholders here in the county. And then this April is when we're launching kind of the 2.0 version of it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, well said. What did you discover about the drinking habits of folks in our area?
Yeah, well, so when we originally started looking into the data points, Lebanon actually had the highest binge drinking rates across both Warren and Clinton counties.
Wow.
Now, since then, we've updated the numbers, kind of went back and double checked because things change year over year. Lebanon has come back to the fold a little bit. It's not by any means under the social norm of 85%. It's still a little above it, but we are moving in the right direction. Some other things we really noticed that kind of caught us by surprise that we're trying to let people know is there's definitely some misconceptions about binge drinking. When we say binge drinking, most people assume that we're talking about alcoholism or alcohol use disorders. But really, that's its own separate thing. Binge drinking is a risk factor for developing an alcohol use disorder, but it's not actually alcoholism. Binge drinking is just having, it's defined as 4 to 5 standard drinks in about a 2-hour setting, which sounds like a lot, but like if you go to a restaurant and you get a draft beer, and craft beers are all the rage right now, very quickly that 22 ounces at 6 or 7% will actually count for about 2.5 beers. So you have 2 of those and you're already kind of on the line. And it's with that in mind that the most interesting statistic I found was that here in Ohio, it's actually middle-class Ohioans that have led the way in binge drinking for the last 8 years straight. So it's not necessarily who you think we're trying to reach, and we're trying to kind of break that perception and let people know that, this is something that, can very easily impact anyone, especially if you don't know exactly, again, what drink responsibly actually means and what those guidelines are supposed to be.
Is there more of an effort to target like high school age people, since that habit can destroy your life? Is there a difference between that point and being older?
Yeah, we definitely see those numbers kind of change throughout the age demographics. So I believe on one end of the spectrum, older adults, so we're talking 65 plus here in Ohio, 92% of older adults don't binge drink. So very, very high number. When we start getting into young adults, let's 18.
Back up. Why do you think this stat changes? Are they more concerned about their health and their liver and things like that?
Goodness gracious. I think there could be a lot of different reasons. One of the big ones is probably just that alcohol affects us differently as we age. So the things in our body that break down the alcohol and how we process it, we lose some of that ability as we age. There's a reason why, when we're 35, 40, 50, people say you can't quite drink like you used to. And there's truth to that. It's because our body breaks it down differently. So some of that is probably just learned behavior and understanding that, I had one too few last week. I need to kind of reevaluate what my personal tolerance is, I guess I would say.
So how are you applying this information or stats to your efforts this year?
Yeah. Well, so this year what we've done is really try to go beyond just increasing awareness and starting the conversation, because that was the big focus last year. This year what we've done and we're launching it, I believe I'll get our first materials in just a few days on the 22nd, what we're kind of calling our Be One of Us establishment project. Lebanon is going to be the pilot kind of community to launch this in. We've partnered with the City of Lebanon, the Chamber of Commerce here in Lebanon, Main Street Lebanon, obviously Talbert House is involved, as well as the Mental Health and Recovery Board that kind of serves Warren and Clinton counties. And what we've created is a bit of an initiative where we could find an alignment between what we want, right, increasing awareness, and what's going to benefit local businesses here in Lebanon, where that kind of mutual benefit overlaps. So what we've done is created a bit of a program where we go out to local establishments, and if they agree to be a participating Be One of Us establishment, they're going to get recognized on all of our materials. So we've designed some brochures, some window stickers. We're actually in talks about maybe even doing a commercial, a lot of kind of advertisement opportunities. And in all of those, we're going to be highlighting these businesses and really hopefully driving local traffic and business to them, especially since COVID. We understand how important that is. And not only are we hoping to, provide that free promotion to them, because it doesn't cost them a penny, but also have it be really, strong, positive, community-based promotion, right? That, they're encouraging responsible drinking in their establishment and really better defining what that means. And they're going to be doing that by having some of our Be One of Us materials with the low-risk drinking guidelines available inside of their establishment. And we've already committed to being at pretty much every single Lebanon event that we can to help distribute some of those materials, those flyers, to get the word out for us, but then also promote those establishments for partnering with us. So again, totally 100% free to them. All they've had to do is agree to help distribute some of that information. A big community kickoff for it is going to be January 17th, the first third Friday event that the Chamber's doing. We've actually are already agreeing to sponsor that event and have the Be One of Us materials really spread throughout. We thought that was a great opportunity because there's a lot of fun that goes on at those events, but it's also a place that we want to feel comfortable bringing our kids and families and that sort of stuff, right? It's okay to be above the age of 21 and have an alcoholic drink, but we just want to define what responsible is and help protect that charm that Lebanon's always had.
That's a good assignment for you, but it sounds like a tough gig. I mean, here you are, you're going to these festivals, and let's face it, they enjoy imbibing, having a beverage. You're not the guy, you're not going crazy and rogue out there, knocking drinks out of people's hands and saying, be one of us.
No,
You're not saying don't have fun. The message is be responsible.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, one of the things
I was
I
just
always
trying to
say.
be kind of humorous on that. But I mean, as far as being received, the partners you're dealing with are selling the alcohol, and the fact that they want to be responsible and still get that message out, kudos. I mean, that's fantastic. But it seems like it'd be kind of a challenging role, which you're embracing real well. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's definitely a lot of relationship building
Yeah.
and letting them know that, yeah, we're not running around kind of, trying to hurt their bottom line or anything like that. It's really about cultivating, that responsible atmosphere. We say all the time, our goal is to help responsible adults make responsible choices about alcohol. And we do have 5 pioneer kind of establishments that are already on board as we launch this in the next few days. Yes, true partnerships, local establishments, most of them being downtown.
Okay. Can we give them a shout since they're kind of on board?
Yeah, absolutely. So I actually just got Countryside YMCA on board the other day.
Of course.
Their CEO, Chris Johnson, said that he wanted to participate.
In all honesty, I can't remember the last time I enjoyed a beer or a cocktail between my supersetting of bench press and biceps. But I mean, they're on board. That's because they're huge.
Yeah.
And they drive so much in Lebanon.
Yeah. So it was fantastic to have them on board. We also have a new location. They're not even officially open yet, I believe. It's the Revival Coffee House that's going to be opening up. The Greenhouse Cafe, Villaggio's, as well as My Ploys.
Yeah.
So a good number to kind of launch.
Yeah.
And then the nice thing about this is we're going to be using a lot of QR codes. We thought it was really important to stay digital because as individuals are here in town, Lebanon gets a lot of visitors from outside of Lebanon. And if we're going to be at some of these events and they grab these brochures and they say, oh, I want to check out Villaggio's or My Ploys or Greenhouse Cafe, that they're actually able to scan the QR code. They'll see a full landing page of all of our partnered establishments that are participating, and they're actually able to immediately click on that, takes them to their website, see their menu, navigate to them, call them, whatever kind of works out. So
why won't you want to be a partner? I mean, all the other things that you get, that's brilliant.
Yep. All businesses have to do is help us kind of spread awareness on what the low risk drinking guidelines are and help promote that culture that Lebanon's worked so hard for.
Yeah.
And then, for that, we will provide our free advertising approach and driving traffic back to them.
So what about viewers and residents? How do they get involved with what you're doing at Talbert House?
Yeah, well, so beyond kind of that, I mean, at Talbert House, we do have 2 offices right here in Lebanon. We have our offices, one of them is mine over at 761 on Columbus Avenue.
Okay.
The other's over at 204 Cook Road here in Lebanon. Talbert House historically has done a lot of outpatient services. It tends to be what individuals know us for. But more and more, we're being seen at those community events, right? So if you're at the Healthy Living Market, if you're at a farmer's market and you see us, don't be afraid to pop on over and learn a little bit about what we do.
Yeah.
Beyond just the outpatient services, we offer a lot of free community-based trainings from everything from stress and anxiety reduction and management techniques all the way to things like QPR, which is a training we offer and we've done a lot of this year. That's all around recognizing the warning signs and red flags when someone might be contemplating suicide and what resources are available to help them.
Yeah.
So
if people know of somebody who needs assistance, they can contact you and direct people to that, to your house, to the event?
Not necessarily to my personal house, but to Talbert House for sure. I mean, I think that's a huge thing that we do. The other nice thing is that, more and more we're trying to promote all the resources that Warren County has. Warren County has a tremendous amount of resources. It's really quite impressive.
It really is.
But not everyone knows all of those resources. So there are times where if individuals reach out to us, if it's not a service that we're able to provide, we're able to connect them to one of our partners that we work with so frequently.
And how do you guys exist financially? Is it government money, or is it donations?
Talbert House broadly is funded through a number of things, right? There's definitely Medicaid and Medicare and a number of other options, but specifically prevention services, which I feel comfortable speaking to being a part of that team. I'll say that we are 100% funded, largely other than a few grants that we apply for and get and to help do even more. But we're largely funded through the Mental Health and Recovery Board, and that's all taxpayer levy dollars.
Okay.
So the Mental Health and Recovery Board levy just passed a few months ago for another, I believe it's 5 years. I could be wrong. Watch it be 10 years.
Yeah.
But we definitely always take the opportunities to say thank you to everyone for helping pass that.
It seems like it usually goes through.
It does.
I think, and again, that's a reflection on our wonderful community and how we want to take care of people and help them. If somebody wanted to get a hold of Talbert House, can we get a number or some type of contact information, or do you have a number, personal number that they can call you at home and then they can come by your house and,
absolutely.
speak about
well,
all
so
these? Or they can go to the Talbert House.
Or they can go to Talbert House,
way.
yeah. Well, so funny enough, I actually just got a new number that's my work number, so I don't have it memorized off the top of my head. But I will give my email, so I do apologize for that.
That's awfully brave of you, but yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no, people are always welcome to reach out to me. I always appreciate it. So that's Zach, Z-A-C-H, .McDaniel, M-C-Daniel, @talberthouse.org.
Light him up. Light
me
this guy up.
Yeah. And if for whatever reason, again, what you're looking for isn't directly something that I can handle, I can always help kind of get you in contact with the correct people there.
And what's the best way to learn more about Talbert House?
Really, the website, just like everything else, is going to have everything that you could possibly need. Talbert House does stretch largely across Southwest Ohio. So even if you have family or friends that aren't directly in Warren or Clinton counties, you're going to be able to see all the different offerings Talbert House does through Hamilton, Butler, Warren, Clinton counties, because sometimes there are differences, right? Being locally funded through local levy dollars and tax dollars sometimes means certain programs are really customized for the communities we serve. Because, the residents of Lebanon might need and want something different than residents in another community, and we want to respond and meet those needs in real time as much as possible.
Is alcoholism the number one problem in our community here?
Oh, man.
You hear about fentanyl and heroin,
Yeah.
because that's killing people quickly.
Mm-hmm.
But I imagine alcohol may even lead into some of these other issues. What do you have to say on that?
The legality of alcohol definitely gives it a blanket that people kind of tend to not think of, right? If you look at a lot of the reports, things like alcohol use disorders have pretty always been consistent. It's an issue that's not gone away. Issues around the opioid crisis, it's a huge fire and it's a huge problem that really drew everyone's attention. And by no means am I suggesting that it's definitely not a major concern. But it burned so bright and so hot and drew everyone's attention so much that I do think there are other concerns that kind of got forgotten about a little bit. In terms of identifying one particular concern, though, that might be the focus, that becomes really hard because a lot of these issues really become interconnected. Even things like the opioid crisis, it's linked very closely to things like methamphetamine use because individuals will actually use those together to kind of counteract one another. And then very quickly you start talking about general mental health concerns. In the prevention department, we really focus on developing those core competencies and those skills that really help people kind of combat future problems and not go down that path in the first place. So I'm a big believer in just connectedness, right? I think if we could be more connected, right, and have the strongest possible social skills as a community, that we'd be protected from just about anything, whether that's the opioid crisis or alcohol use disorders.
What are the main points that Talbert House addresses?
Yeah. So the biggest things that we do, so we have 5 basic care lines that we serve. If you go on our website, you'll be able to see all those. Here in Warren County, the biggest things that we do in general is the outpatient therapy that we provide, the clinical services. We do a lot of small groups. I see those in there at least 3 or 4 times a week, both in the mornings as well as the afternoons. Other big work that we do is we partner a lot with the correction facilities, do a lot of work with them, both for current inmates as well as helping get people back on their feet. And then I'll continue to plug prevention services. I like what we do, and then our big focuses in our first 2 years of existence has been low risk drinking guidelines, medication safety, and suicide prevention awareness. But more and more we are getting pulled into the school systems with just a lot of the things and the concerns we're hearing from everyone from teachers, superintendents to principals around some of the stuff that's come out since 2020 and COVID in and out of school
Has
and
the
all that stuff.
suicide numbers gone up with what we've been through with the pandemic? And I imagine depression is probably higher?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
so it's actually really interesting that you said that. So when we give our QPR presentation,
Yeah.
a decent amount of it is talking about the numbers, the statistics. How much of a concern is this here locally,
Yeah.
right? Not just in the nation, but here in Ohio and here in Warren County. And in 2020, they actually released the numbers on suicide deaths nationally and here in Ohio. And surprise, surprise, it actually went down a little bit.
Wow.
However, when I went in and I really dived into that
Yeah.
report, because I was very curious
Yeah.
on why that was the case, it was not what we anticipated. They did give a lot of language kind of saying like, hey, let's not think that we're out of the woods yet.
Yeah.
There could be a long-term uptick potentially from the effects of COVID. The numbers seem to indicate that almost everything was flipped on its head, which makes sense with COVID, right? The normal trends that we saw were all upside down and messed up. So it might be one of those things that just gets an asterisk next to it. But it's something that we're continuing to monitor. But it's definitely a concern here locally that we kind of continue to want to address. The most recent numbers I have super locally in Warren County is suggesting that more than 1 in 10 students here in the county contemplate suicide every year.
That's serious stuff. You're a statistical machine.
I
Hey,
am.
watch for this guy. When you see him at those events, tell him way to go. Zach from the Talbert House, thanks for being here and sharing that information with people, because that's important stuff. And appreciate what you do. We'll be back after a short break to meet some local young artists.
When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover their unique mix of all kinds of traits.
Where'd Wiley go? Where's Wiley? Ah, there she is. Paw?
Do you remember being an ancient wolf? Do you ever feel the call of the wild?
You're a renegade cop, and I'm a con woman with nothing to prove. But together, we could really solve this murder.
They're a little bit of a lot of things, but all of them are pure love.
I surrender.
All right, pal. Get ready for the day, buddy.
Hey, Dad. Hey, Dad. Do we have a gun?
What's that?
Do we have a gun?
What do you think you're doing, Kevin?
I was just gonna drive home.
There are several warning signs present that you shouldn't be driving.
Like hearing voices?
Like your text to emoji ratio?
Oh man, the selfies. Selfie. Nailed it.
We all have warning signs that let us know that we're probably not okay to drive. Mine is pretending to be your subconscious.
Craig, come on man, let's split a ride home.
Today I'm going to talk to you about physics. Come on in, girls. Let's go. This is the first rocket to get humans to Mars.
Really tall.
I'm a rocket structural engineer, designing and building parts of the rocket. You are the generation that will be stepping foot on Mars. Do I have a group of astronauts on my hands?
Yes.
You can become a rocket scientist or whatever else you want to be.
Welcome back. As a Tree City, USA, it's only natural that Lebanon continues its tradition of sponsoring an Arbor Day poster contest each year. This year, students from Donovan Elementary and St. Francis de Sales participated in the contest, and we have some of the winners here in our studio with their artwork. And of course, we have Casey Burdick, Lebanon's recreational coordinator, who organizes everything. I mean, I don't know how you do everything you do. I always jokingly say there's got to be like 7 of you running around. And it's so cool that you have your hand in this. So what is being a Tree City USA? What does that mean?
So Tree City USA is a national recognition that the city goes through each year with our Shade Tree Commission. And in order to be a Tree City USA, we have to jump through a number of hoops.
Okay.
So we have to have a board.
Okay.
So that's the Lebanon Shade Tree Commission. We have to have an ordinance on how we're going to handle trees in our right-of-ways. We have to spend $2 per capita. That sounds like a lot, but it can be through volunteer activities. It can be through pruning work. I mean, not just cutting and planting.
Yeah, okay.
And then we also have to recognize Arbor Day. So this poster contest is one of the ways that we do that.
Yeah, and what a great tradition to continue on. And how many kids, how many students participated in the contest this year?
We had students from Donovan, so 3rd and 4th graders there, and then 3rd through 6th graders at St. Francis de Sales. So I don't know exactly how many students, but we had a really good turnout on posters.
Neat. And you have a theme for the drawing. So what was the theme this year?
So the theme this year was Trees Are Cool.
Okay. Well, that's a great theme. Let's meet some of the winners. We got 5 of the winners here now. Okay. I'm going to start back there. Can you hold your artwork up? That is beautiful. And it says trees are cool. What is your name?
My name is Haley and I go to St. Francis de Sales.
And what grade are you in?
I'm in 5th grade.
Wow, I can see why you won. That's beautiful. So do you have a tree like that in your backyard, or is that came from your memory?
I mean, I just like drawing trees, and I just drew this one.
That's spectacular. So mom or dad, who's the artist in the family who encourages you, or are you the one? You the artist?
Probably me.
Yeah. So you enjoy drawing. Well, that is beautiful. And next, honey, what's your name?
I'm Lauren Cole, and I go to St. Francis.
Okay. Can you show your picture there? Okay. And you got some mountains in the background. Okay. So in your mind, where are those trees from? Colorado? Tennessee?
I don't know. I just made a tree and I put a background.
I love that. I love that. And what's your artistic leanings? Where do you get that from? Grandma, grandpa, mom, dad? How long you been drawing?
I've been drawing since basically I was really little.
Wow.
And my sister, probably because she's a really good artist, plus my brother because he taught me how to draw these trees.
Well, that's nice that you give them some credit for that. That is beautiful. Thank you. And honey, what's your name?
My name's Amira.
Okay.
Amira Williams.
And let's see yours. Oh, I love the colors. Wow. Those look like pine trees because they're all kind of together?
Yeah.
Do you have pine trees in your backyard, or?
No, but my mom, she's a photographer.
Okay.
And she took me to this spot, and it was like pine trees.
Wow.
It was like rows of pine trees.
Yeah.
And that's where I got this from.
So pine trees remind me of Christmas. Yeah, I imagine. And you have ornaments in there too? I mean, they're different. They look like Christmas trees because
they
they're
look
all
like leaves.
Yeah, okay. So it's an autumn background, and that is spectacular. I can see why you won also. So you guys are all first place winners from your school and your specific grade. Okay. And honey, what's your name?
My name is Vanessa.
Okay.
Tremmel.
And what grade are you in?
I'm in 4th grade.
And where do you go to school at?
I go to school at St. Francis de Sales.
Okay. So your colors just pop. Did you use different crayons or something? How do you get the colors to just jump out like that?
I press really hard with pastels.
Okay. Yeah. So how long have you been drawing?
Probably since maybe I was around 2, 3, something there.
Yeah, it's fun, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that is spectacular. And you got the sun in the background, and is that a rainbow too?
No. It's more of the sky like fading up into the.
I love that. That's so creative. Good job. Yeah. And honey, what's your name?
I'm Ella. I go to school in Donovan.
Okay.
Yeah.
And your grandma was an art teacher, wasn't she? Yeah, I can tell. Did she kind of inspire you? Yeah. And you have a different utilization there. Okay, you didn't just stop and just do it. It almost, is that a card? Does it open up? Oh my goodness! Look at that. And it says trees are cool. And is that your family in there? Okay. So who's in the picture? Mom and dad, and then your siblings, your brothers and sisters? Okay. That's all. And it's kind of like a family tree. I got that. Yeah, that's neat. Close it up again. Okay, and you have the world, and then you have a power plant in the background, and is that having some negative effect on trees? So you kind of told a story there. Yeah. Kids, that's fantastic. So where do we go from here? You know, is this art going to continue? You're going to look for more contests to enter?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you like? Do you get the chalk out in the driveways in the summer? Because I mean, isn't that neat? Because you got a whole canvas there, and then you kind of hope for rain so it washes away, and you can do another one.
Yeah.
Okay. What you should start taking pictures of that. Maybe we can have another show. We'll call it driveway art. Okay. Yeah. That's fantastic. Well, kids, that's awesome, and you're what makes the tree contest successful. So thank you for sharing your art with us today. And I'm going to go back in the back and start all over again. What's your favorite color?
Like a light blue.
Okay. And do you try to use that in most of your drawings?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And how about you, honey? Do you have a favorite color?
I'm kind of deciding between a light blue and aqua.
Okay. Aqua. Okay. And what inspired you with all the colors, and what kind of led you to put that specific stuff on there? Because that's spectacular.
I was just inspired by the different trees and each season changing.
Okay.
And each tree in different seasons have different colored leaves. And so I did that, and then I just make my letters. Trees are cool. Bubble letters match the trees.
Wow, I like that. Well, you guys are all winners, but what did it feel like when you found out that you were one of the winners? Were you excited?
I was surprised.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't finished mine.
Okay.
And I felt really bad for my other friends that should have won because they had finished theirs.
Yeah. Well, everybody kind of wins, because you guys are all part of it. So that's awesome. So do you have any desire to maybe become an art teacher down the road and follow in Grandma's footsteps? No. How about mayor or commissioner or anything like that? President of the United States? Okay.
I might actually do that.
You might be president of the United States. Hey, anything's possible. And that's the cool thing about art. It just opens up all the possibilities, doesn't it? That's wonderful. Yeah. Well, kids, thank you so much. Casey, besides being on a guest slot on the TV show, what are the kids going to get for being the winners of this contest?
So they also get recognized at the council meeting on the last Tuesday of the month.
Wow.
Which will be reading the Arbor Day proclamation that day as well.
Okay.
So it'll be great. That's always council's favorite meeting of the year when we get to have all the kids in there and celebrate the trees.
Well, that's neat. So you guys are going to be celebrities. Yeah. We should get them in a parade down the road too, holding up their art. And are the rest of us going to get to see the posters online or somewhere else?
Right. So we are getting ready to post those onto our social media. So if you follow the city's social media, you'll get to see the first, second, and third place winners.
Yeah. Well, fantastic. And how will Lebanon celebrate Arbor Day and Earth Day this year?
So Earth Day, we are doing two volunteers events. On April 22nd from 4 to 6, we have a tree planting at the Turtle Creek Nature Preserve, which is along the Ayler Cook Trail. If you're interested in coming out, stop out. We have about 50 trees to plant out there. And then the Saturday morning, the 23rd, we have what we're calling a mulch-a-thon. So we're working up at Miller Park to get mulch spread around all the trees up there at the park and get everything looking good for spring.
Okay.
We also have a celebration at St. Francis de Sales, actually, for Arbor Day. So the school has invited us, the city and the Shade Tree Commission in, and we'll do a small celebration there as well.
And I see some trash pickup at Miller Ecological Park is coming up on the 22nd also?
Yep, so people can come and pick up trash in the morning if you prefer to come out in the morning that day.
Yeah. Do you get many people coming out and helping with that?
Absolutely. We have a great volunteer base here in Lebanon. People really care, especially when it's for the parks. They want to make sure that it's a safe and clean place for our kids.
Do you want folks to know if things are coming up? How can they email you?
So if people want to contact me, my direct line in my office is 513-228-3104, or they can email me at cburdick@lebanonohio.gov.
And you're getting ready to get busy. As spring comes, you're in a sprint. What do you have coming up in May?
So May, we have a program at Miller Park, always the second Saturdays. They're a lot of fun. We will do some planting in the downtown area to beautify that and get it ready for the summer, getting everybody coming in.
Can you tell me about the Let's Talk Turtles in Miller Eco Park? That
so
sounds... You girls like turtles? Yeah. How do you not like turtles, right? Are they cool? Yeah. So if they have a turtle event, are you going to be there?
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe you should draw pictures of turtles. Maybe that can be the next contest. Okay, so tell us about the turtle event.
So that'll be at Miller Ecological Park at 10 a.m. And it's the second Saturday. I don't recall the date off the top of my head. But Melissa Proffitt from the Warren County Soil and Water is going to be speaking that day, and she always does a great job. She's excellent interacting with kids, especially.
Okay, I got that down as the 14th of May.
Sounds right.
Okay, so if you like turtles, who doesn't like turtles? There's got to be something wrong with you if you don't like turtles. Don't miss this one. And then you have, and this kind of ties in with the trees are cool, Cool Critters outreach. And that's going to be on the 21st of May at 10 a.m. in the Bicentennial Park. Can you tell us about Cool Critters?
So Cool Critters is an outreach organization, and they rescue pets that people maybe got in over their head with.
Okay.
So maybe a tortoise that, you know, they live upwards of 100 years.
Yeah.
So they may outlive your family even.
Oh, wow.
Then they had a lot of snakes and different things that instead of somebody making the bad choice of releasing it out in the wild, they take these animals in, and then they come around and do programs for families to learn about the animal and how much work it actually does take to take care of them, but also how cool they are and how they interact with the actual environment.
Well, what's the coolest critter that you've experienced? Has anyone brought any alligators up from Florida? Or any,
not here. Luckily, so far, no, we haven't had anything too wild here, which I'd like to keep it that way, too.
So what's the best way to learn about all these events that you have going on with the parks?
So we post it on the city website, on the calendar, as well as social media, so people can check out the city's Facebook or Instagram page.
Okay.
And we try to keep things up to date on both of those options.
Okay, fantastic. Hey, Cool Critters. Are you guys going to be at Cool Critters? Okay.
I don't know, but I've seen them before.
Well, I mean, it's great stuff, okay, and then you can get some different ideas. Maybe instead of drawing trees is great, but now you can maybe draw alligators or whatever critters are going to be there. I'm pulling for an alligator, okay?
Why go for an alligator?
I don't know, because I think it's a cool critter. Yeah. Anyway, don't get me going. Hey, girls, it was so great having you here. Can you wave to your friends out there? Okay. Thanks for being here. I appreciate you guys. Enjoy your journey of fame, okay? Casey, is there anything else that you'd like to share?
That's it. So I'd like for everybody just to, make sure you keep up with the calendar. We have a lot of fun stuff planned throughout the summer months.
Always, always. Well, girls, Casey, thanks for joining us. Stay tuned. We'll be back to wrap it up right after this break.
You made this vacation happen, cleverly merging promotions,
Double points with every purchase.
and cross-referencing travel sites. Aloha! If you can ace your vacation, you can do it for retirement. Get on track with tips at aceyourretirement.org.
Extinction is forever. To save America's most iconic and imperiled species from extinction, we must fight for their future. Fight to save the natural lands that wildlife call home. Fight to limit pollution. Fight for smart development. Fight for their future. And fight for ours. For so goes nature, so goes us.
Unlike other health concerns, mental illness is not always easy to see.
D-E-P-R.
Mental illness doesn't show up on a scale. Bipolar? Sorting out a mental health concern takes professional diagnosis and treatment.
Anxiety. I thought so.
If you or a loved one has a mental health concern, don't go it alone. For 24-hour free and confidential information and treatment referral, call 1-800-662-HELP. Learn more at samhsa.gov/support.
I've been driving a truck for 40 years now. If people knew what I know, lives could be saved. Like that trucks can't stop quickly. It takes my 80,000-pound truck 200 yards to come to a complete stop. So I always do my best to give a lot of cushion. It helps when other drivers realize that and do the same. Please give trucks the space we need so we can all stay safe. It's our roads. It's our safety.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
Welcome back. The Warren County Historical Society invites you to their first ever Founders Day on Friday, May 6th from 6 to 9 p.m. at the Historical Society, located at the corner of Broadway and South Streets in Lebanon. Free tours will be offered of the museum before and after the dedication of a new monument to honor teachers in Warren County. Please join them in celebrating 82 years of service to Warren County. If you're looking for something to give your garden a kickstart, check out the Posey Power Soil Booster Sale, being put on by the Lebanon Garden or Council of Garden Clubs on Tuesday, April 26th from 5 to 7 p.m. at the Lebanon train station. Just $7 a bag. Posey powder will recondition and fertilize your soil and make it able to retain more moisture for a longer period of time. For more information, look for the Lebanon Council of Garden Clubs on Facebook. Well, that's all we have for today's show. For those of you who are watching us on YouTube, thank you for clicking on our show. Please remember to hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons so you know when something new is posted to Lebanon Channel. Thanks for watching. We'll be back on May 3rd to learn about some amazing things being done by our high school students through the Warren County Career Center. We'll see you then. Hopefully we won't get any snow until then. Enjoy spring.